In this video, I'll show you how to set up a simple sun and sky in Vray for Rhino. So I'm going to pretend this is my building design. One thing I'm going to do before I get started, and I've activated Vray, I'm going to type Vray infinite plane and hit enter. That's going to create an infinite ground plane at 0. So wherever your C plane is, that's where this infinite plane is going to be. And that'll be important because I want shadows to show up on that plane. So that command is Vray infinite plane. I'm going to go to Vray tab at the top, go to the asset editor. And this is if your icons don't pop up like mine are being hidden. Some few things we're going to do at first. We're going to first select this Rhino document sun. I'm going to set this to 0.2. So I'm going to bring this down. And again, that's under the light bulb here. So under the lights. And then I'm going to go to environment. And if I click on this textures icon, it looks like a checker. This environment texture, so if I were to just render this as is, you would see it gives this really kind of studio lighting, which isn't what we're looking for. We want a traditional V-Ray kind of sky. So I'm going to click on this, hit delete. So I'm going to delete that environmental texture, and you'll see it go black. But we're going to create a new texture. So I'm going to click texture, and you'll see sky. This is the traditional V-Ray sky that used to load with V-Ray and Rhino. And so I'll have that. I'm also going to go, I'm going to delete this. Yeah, so I deleted that one, created a sky. I'm going to go to settings. And then under environment, I'm going to click on this checker box here and add a sky to that as well. So it's going to use the sky environment for my background. All right, so already it's starting to look more bluish. So if I go down here, it's just a little bright at the moment. So the next thing I need to do is in this environment sky, I'm going to turn on, and again, if this isn't showing, I'm going to click this arrow to expand it. I'm going to turn on this check for custom orientation. So now I can affect the sun location manually. And I have this real-time render turned on, so I'm seeing a preview on the right, and it's looking pretty good. Again, I can change the orientation of the sun. It's good to have some shadow in the scene. Think about how the project is being highlighted and how it looks three-dimensional. You want it to look engaging here. So I can bring the angle of the sun down. And if it's still too bright, I can go to this light and I can bring this down to 0.1. So now it's a little darker, maybe somewhere between that, so 0.15. Okay, and you'll see this lighting quality. This is the typical V-Ray kind of lighting quality that we're used to in this software. And I think this is a good enough quality for what we're looking for. So I'm going to hit stop. This is going to stop the real-time render. And again, once I'm ready to fully render, I'm going to click on, first let's go to settings. I'm going to set the render output to 1920 by 1080. That's HD. And when I'm ready to go, I'm going to hit the drop down arrow and click on the teapot. So the teapot without the arrow is the traditional render. So I'm going to hit that, and it's going to render the image. And everything is pixelated, so it's going to slowly resolve all of this. Denoiser is set to be on, so that's good. And when it's finished, you'll see this text at the bottom, finished. And I can now save this. All right, and so once that's saved, I can close this and find that file. If you save the rendering as a PNG, it'll save with a transparent background, which can be good for either adding your own background in Photoshop or overlaying this on a presentation where there's no background. If it's saved as a JPEG, it'll have an image that is kind of filling the sky.